Yo, how's everyone doing? Welcome back for some more Infinite Warfare and some Call of Duty Ghosts today. We're going to have a little bit more like half and half of each, and we're going to start off with some Ghosts. And before I get into talking about the Ripper and the RPR Evo, the first thing I want to talk about a little bit is Ghosts. And man, I came back to this game. I haven't played it in a long time, and I absolutely loved this game. I'm one of those rare ones, but look at this guy. Very first game, very first guy that I run into. What is this? Like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, come on. The whole match this guy was doing this, and it's just like, I was just thinking about it. The only reason I came on here is because I just wanted to, go back and play with the old Ripper, because I was playing with the RPR Evo in Infinite Warfare, and I was like, I wonder what the old gun felt like, because it's been so long since I used this, and this was like the last, one of the last proper DLC weapons that we had, because anyone could buy this weapon. You didn't have to have a season pass or the map pack, and I had the season pass, so I got it right away, but anyone else could eventually buy it later, and this was a fantastic weapon. It was very unique too, which, you can switch it from the SMG mode to the AR mode, which the little, scope pops up, and it has a slower fire rate, but, better range and different shots to kill and all that, and it's really cool, but generally when I use it, I just put it in SMG mode because, I don't know, I just find it to work the best that way. I usually use it on smaller maps, and that's not to say the AR mode isn't good, but look at this. Here's this guy again, the same guy. He's using a riot shield now, and I get him, but then there's this guy with a thermal. Okay. So let's get back to what I was saying. I was just thinking about Ghost though, and the weird thing for me is I played Ghost on 360 the whole way through. The entire year that Ghosts was the newest Call of Duty game was on 360 that I played it, and I loved it. And the weird thing is though, like, the main thing people didn't like was how fast you would die, and I did not notice that at all the whole time on 360, but then I stopped playing the game, and this was after Black Ops 2, which, that game's time to, how long it would take for you to die would, it's a little longer in Black Ops games and Treyarch games in general, just because of just the way their hit detection is, I guess, and just, I don't know, the weapons, how many bullets it is to kill, and a bunch of different things like that. But going from Black Ops 2 to Ghost, I feel like I would have noticed that extreme difference, because here's the thing, after not playing this game, I played Advanced Warfare, and then I came back and played this on Xbox One, I think for the first time, because I just never really played this game on Xbox One. I got it when I got my Xbox One and got rid of my 360, but I never played Ghosts on the Xbox One. But when I went back and played, and, before I actually never even knew that the time to kill was an issue for people, but after I heard about it, I figured it out, and then I went back and played the game, I was like, holy crap, people are like, right, like, this is actually a real thing. And, it's not that I thought people were like crazy or something, but I never personally noticed it or experienced it. But then after playing Advanced Warfare and then going onto Xbox One, I noticed it. So I'm confused. I'm wondering if maybe something was different on 360 from the Xbox One, and I don't think that would be, but I certainly do not remember feeling the way I feel when I play this game on Xbox One compared to when I was on Xbox 360. So if anyone switched between systems like midway through Ghosts, I'd love to know if that was something that you kind of felt the same way about. But that's enough about that. We'll probably just have to leave that a mystery because it's pretty much irrelevant nowadays. But the main focus of today's video is I want to talk about the Ripper versus the RPR Evo, or the RPR Evo in Infinite Warfare, and also just a little bit about Ghosts and Infinite Warfare, like comparing them a little bit. So the first thing I guess I want to say is, let's talk about these maps that I played on here, Tremor and Octane. Now, a lot of people hated the huge maps on Ghost, which personally I never cared. Like, I like any size map pretty much except for super tiny and small, like say Rust or Nuketown. Those are just not good public multiplayer matches, but that's just my personal opinion. There's a lot of people that feel differently, but these two maps that I played on here, I played on Tremor, that first map, and now Octane, I thought these were fantastic overall maps. They're like medium-sized. I don't think anyone would disagree with me, really. But, all the maps in Infinite Warfare have been pretty small, maybe close to the size of these, but people are complaining about them. Like, I don't understand that. Like, people, they say one thing, and then, like, they seem like they get what they want, but then they don't want that anymore or something. It's really weird, but that's one thing I wanted to say, which, these are two maps that I really enjoy, and the Ripper is perfect to use on these maps. Watch this right here. That was one time when I was playing that I was just like, wow, I literally just got melted. Like, It's just so weird how that happens sometimes. But then when you kill someone though, it's like perfectly normal. You don't kill them in one bullet. It takes, you know, a good amount of bullets. But I'm rambling on about that again. I need to stay off of that topic because I'll just keep on going on and on about it. But let's start comparing the Ripper and the Ripper Evo, because this is something I'll be able to talk about, and it's something that I actually want to talk about. And the first thing is they definitely sound different. So they definitely changed the audio files. I think I liked the Ghost sound better, but I don't know, maybe that's just because it's the original sound that I was used to. But they both sound alright, but they definitely are different. Another thing, the iron sights and, you know, that flip up sight for the AR mode, they're pretty much the same. They're very, very, you know, close. They're a little bit different, but I like both equally. I mean, they're basically the same, just a little bit different. And I really like how, you know, just the way it is. It's a very unique weapon, how that little AR mode pops up out of the weapon. And, you know, both modes are very usable. I mean, I prefer the SMG mode, like I said. But, you know, I've seen tons of people use the AR mode in Infinite Warfare. So, I'm going to be curious to see how people like to use the weapon more, because not everyone had the weapon in Ghosts, you know, so it's kind of one of those things where it's more like, you know, now we're going to see how people really want to use the weapon, which mode they like better. But another thing feel-wise, I think the fire rate is pretty much identical. I mean, the SMG mode is like super fast, and then the AR mode is kind of just like average, I would say, and it feels good to use. But one thing I will notice, and that I have noticed, is that in Ghosts, it's a lot more accurate at longer ranges than it is in SMG mode, at least. You know, longer range, it's kind of hard to stay on target in Infinite Warfare, but in Ghosts it's a lot easier to use. But in both games it feels really good to use, and it's a really fun weapon to use because you have that option of, you know, AR SMG mode, and you gotta kind of be smart about it. You know, when you're thinking that you're in close range engagements with an enemy, you want to be an SMG for sure. But hey, if you want to at longer ranges, it definitely can't hurt to go to AR. I like to keep it in SMG because usually I feel like I can control it and the faster fire rate will do me better. But, you know, the weapon might be a little bit different statistically in this game, so I'm definitely going to have to try it out more. I barely tried the AR mode at all. I don't think in this gameplay I even used AR mode once. So we're going to have to see as the game comes out and after I use this weapon more, but at this point I'm still sticking with the SMG mode. The only other comparison I can really make is I noticed the ammo count is exactly the same, you know, with the base weapon and also with the extended mag, so that's good because it has like, I think 32 bullets in a clip, but then with the extended mags it goes up to 48, and in Ghosts, that main class setup that you saw that I always like to use was suppressor and extended mag, so I did not try suppressor on the RPR Evo in Infinite Warfare yet, so I'm definitely going to do that, see if it kind of performs the way it used to for me in Ghosts. But that's enough about the weapons. Let's talk a little bit about Ghosts versus Infinite Warfare now. And, you know, well, one more thing about the weapons is the weapon, the RPR Evo, definitely looks different. If you just look at like the side of the weapon, it looks different than the Ripper from Ghosts. But besides that, I think Infinite Warfare has better graphics than Ghosts, and not necessarily just like what's on the maps and stuff, but just the colors and stuff. Like Ghosts, the one thing I will agree with that a lot of people say is it was kind of just dull and boring, and the maps were pretty dark and not very colorful and stuff. And you know, they don't have to be super vibrant and colorful. We're in like a war game, but you know, they were just like very dark, and it would be hard to see people, and just, you know, encouraged camping and all that good stuff. So in Infinite Warfare I'm not seeing that as much. I just want to real quick touch on the topic that we talked about in Ghosts, and I did not feel myself getting killed really fast like I did when I went back and played Ghosts. So I don't think that that's as much of an issue. I know that might have been before I got to play on Xbox One, but when I played, it really was not that bad. But let's start talking about the weapons, and the weapons in both games are really good. I mean, I had some of my favorite weapons in Call of Duty Ghosts. I mean, the FAD was probably my favorite weapon in Call of Duty all time. Like, that, I don't know why, but that weapon was just awesome for me. I used it with suppressor and extended mags, and it had 63 bullets in a clip. It was really accurate, and it was just an awesome weapon. I don't know why, but I just loved it. And when I played Ghost, didn't really see anybody use it too much. But in Infinite Warfare, we have a lot of nice weapons, but even with the variants, I feel like they should have had more base weapons. Like, yeah, you have a variant of these weapons, but it's still the same weapon, kind of, and I didn't get to use all the variants, so I know some of them change, like the Wreck becomes like the Wrecked in its full auto then, so that's like a big difference, but the other ones kind of just felt the same pretty much, so I don't know how I feel about it. I definitely like that the variants aren't like Advanced Warfare, but I still wish they had more base weapons, just more starting weapons, more weapons to choose from that are completely different. But, I mean, we'll see how it plays out in the end. I mean, there's tons of variants, so we'll see what happens. But a couple things that I liked from Ghost that weren't in the Infinite Warfare beta, and probably won't be in Infinite Warfare at all. One thing is the Specialist bonus. Remember from Modern Warfare 3 and Ghost where you could get every perk if you got on a long enough kill streak, and, you know, that is something I thought they would return, but they didn't. I'm glad that they didn't bring back support streaks, but I'm kind of confused as to why they wouldn't bring the Specialist bonus back. That was a lot of fun having that, and brings me kind of into the perks. I really like the way Ghost set up the perks. Like, this was the only game that did this, but you would basically get perk points, and there wouldn't be any perk 1, perk 2, perk 3. You could pick whatever perks you want, and they had tons and tons of perks, but each perk would be worth a certain amount of points, and you couldn't go over the point limit. So I really like that system, but we have not seen that in any other game besides Ghosts. But that's about all I'm going to talk about today. There are a few other little things, but I haven't gotten like the full experience with some things in Infinite Warfare yet, obviously, because all I played was the beta so far, But I really hope you enjoyed this gameplay. I really wanted to go back and play with the Ripper and, kind of just compare the old Ripper with this new Ripper Evo, which is basically the futuristic version of the Ripper. So anyone who either didn't play Ghosts, or even if you did, just let me know what you think. Let me know which one you think looks better, or maybe feels better if you've used both. And that's pretty much it though. Thank you so much if you actually watched to this point, which I highly doubt too many people did, but thank you as always for watching, and I'll talk to y'all again very soon. Peace out.